Today we are going to solve this problem, subarray division. Try to understand the problem statement. I am keeping the link of this hacker rank problem statement in the description of this video. I would recommend you to first go through this problem statement, try to solve it yourself, and after that come back and look into the solution. Fine. Let's try to understand the problem statement. Two children, Lily and Ron, want to share a chocolate bar. Each of the squares has an integer on it. Okay. Lily decide to share a contiguous segment of the bar selected such as the length of the segment matches birthday month and sum of the integers on the squares is equals to his birthday. Okay. Determine how many ways she can divide the chocolate. Fine. This is one array, and D is the day and M is the month. Lily wants to find segment summing to Ron's birthday. D equals to 4 with a length equaling his birth month, that is M equals to 2. In this case there are two segments. How this is calculated? Fine. We have to return one integer, that is the number of ways the bar can be divided. Okay, fine. Let's look into the function. This is birthday. There is one vector of integers, the day and month. What day indicates and what month indicates? We have to calculate sum, right? Day indicates with a length. Okay, day is length and month is the sum. Okay, we can say integer expected sum is day and integer expected or our maximum length is the month. Okay, that's it. And after that what we have to do, we have to iterate inside this vector and the maximum length. Suppose let me to look into one of the example. Here month is 2 and D equals to 3. Okay, this month indicates what? The length. This maximum number of elements that we can consider for the sum, and that sum should be equals to D, value of D in this case. Here M is 2 means two elements first we are considering and adding them, it is 3 and it is equals to D. That's why count should be 1, and after that again we are moving forward and then we are calculating another two elements because M is 2. If M is 3 then we have to consider 3 elements and we have to take the sum and we have to check if that sum is equals to D or not. If it is equals to D, then we have to increment the count likewise, and it seems it is a sliding window problem. But before that, let's implement this one using traversal way of array or vector. We have to iterate inside this vector, right? So how to iterate inside a vector? General way is for auto iterator equals to s dot begin, and then we are saying if iterator is not equals to vector dot end, right? In this case our vector name is s, and then increment the iterator. In this way we are traversing all the elements of this vector, and while traversing we have to count what? We have to count the sum of what? How many elements? That is nothing but max length. These many elements sum we need to calculate. So do you know there is one algorithm that is already discussed in our previous video? Okay, that is nothing but std accumulate, and std accumulate expects the begin iterator, that is nothing but iterator in this case, and end iterator. In our case how many element we have to consider? That is max length element. Number of element will be max length. So here we can say iterator plus max length, right? And after that third argument would be the initial value. In this case, if you observe carefully, this birthday is returning integer, and vector is also of integer type. And you know, integer plus integer in integer arithmetic operation will always produce integer only. It cannot produce long integer. Okay, if there is a scene of producing long integer, then this 0 should be 0l. Okay, otherwise you will get different value. Anyway, this is already discussed in our previous video. That's why I am not going to discuss these things. And let's capture it inside a variable sum and initialize this sum to 0. Okay, okay, fine. What is next? Then we have to check if this sum is equals to expected sum, right? If it is equals, then what we have to do? We have to increment the counter, right? And counter also, definitely we have to define counter. Let's initialize it to 0 and finally return counter. Okay, that's it. Now let's run the code and check. Let's see, it is processing. Yeah, sample test cases are passing, but let's submit the code and check if it is passing or not. Wow, it is passing. And wow, congratulations, we solved this challenge. And if in your interview, if you are getting this question and you are writing this as your answer, you may not be selected in your interview, because this, you may think whatever you have written is building successfully, all the test cases are passing, but there are some potential issues in this code and which might be known to your interviewer. That's why he may reject you. What are the potential issues in this implementation? Don't think we are using additional variables. If you are having memory constraint, then you can directly use d and m in place of expected sum and maximum length wherever it is used. That is not a problem. This is just a meaningful name I have given. Then what is the problem? Try to understand. Here, iterator, from begin to end we are traversing, and in accumulate we are passing iterator plus max length. Do you think, if I am saying, let's come to this picture. I am sorry, today I do not have my tablet, that's why I cannot write it, but try to follow my mouse pointer, then I hope you can easily get me. Okay, so while I am saying vector dot begin, it will point to this location, and from begin iterator plus 2, let's say it will be here. Okay, means from here to here accumulate will calculate and it will give us the sum. Fine, but think about a situation. Let's say we are here. Okay, let's m equals to 2. If you see here, max length is nothing but m, right? M is, let's say, 2. Our iterator is here. After certain iteration, iterator will reach at this place definitely, and at that time to accumulate what we are passing, this is the begin iterator and plus 2. If m is 2, then plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 next element, which is invalid, right? Which is invalid. That's what we are passing here, right? Invalid location. That's why this may lead into undefined behavior. Okay, fine. This is one issue. Another issue is, can you tell what is time complexity of this function? And here we are traversing n times, right? And accumulate is also doing what? It is also traversing one by one. Let's say it is m, length is m. So it will become what? O of, let me to write it down, O of n cross m, okay, which is bad, correct? So is there a better way to solve this problem? Yes, there is. That we will see in our next video. Okay, wait for that. Let me to give you one hint. See, Suppose in this case, suppose m is 3. Okay, then in first iteration we will calculate sum of all these three elements. In second iteration we have to calculate what? We have to leave the first element, then move our pointer to here, then next three element we will calculate. That means in our first iteration we are calculating 1 plus 2 plus 1, then we are calculating 2 plus 1 plus 3. Do not you think 2 plus 1 is already calculated and no need to recalculate it, right? Yes, that means from previous sum we have to do a subtraction of first element and next element, that we can say new element, whatever we are considering in this window, that new element we should have to add. Okay, sum during previous iteration minus the previous number, okay, plus the next number or the newly added number. That's it. Try it out and I will show you live demo in next video. Thank you and see you soon. Bye.